Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Things are getting extremely creepy. Can we handle it? Let us see. Things are getting creepy. It's time for your extreme terrors. Dun, 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 dun. How can you take it? It's getting more extreme. Extreme terrors. Extreme terrors. Welcome, my friends. It is I, Bones the Skeleton. I returned after so long. We only have 3 small stories left to tell before we have to kiss Extreme Towers goodbye. But trust me, this is more than a story. This is a saga. And these are the final 3 chapters. Let me tell you the story known as Frankenstein's Monster Reborn. And trust me, you don't even need to see my pretty bony face for this one. Ooh. Such a great story to tell in such little time. I love having a deadline. We begin. In 1933, November 3rd, Russian scientists uncovered the brain of Frankenstein's monster. Yes, the monster created by Dr. Victor Frankenstein. They began a project to resurrect the beast, snatch apart some of his body as they began to explore him. And this is what the scientists had to say, the top scientists. I do believe that this might be dangerous, sir, he said to the general. But the general said back, I do not care. I want this thing as a weapon, a device for destruction we can use to win our battles. Flip the switch. And so the switch was flipped. On Christmas Day of that year, the creature escaped, having been stitched together in a much more skinnier, childlike form, having quickly matured, having to constantly restitched and re-put together. He had enough and escaped. The Russians tried to find him, but failed, until February 14th of 1934. When a couple who decided to go on a mountain climbing trip to celebrate Valentine's Day, which was also the anniversary, by climbing the snowy mountains of that country, and wouldn't find none other than, guess who? Frankenstein's monster. And here's the words. It's, I believe it's what all Americans say. Frankenstein's monster. Indeed. Run. Go away, said Frankenstein's monster. Having, over the past year, grown into a full adult, and having grown quite a few muscles, might I add, he became quite buff. And trust me, he was nothing to laugh at. The military would continue to hunt him down until World War II began, and a Nazi raid of Russia, specifically some of the mountains, they encountered the creature, where he single-handedly killed every single Nazi soldier. Leave Frankenstein home, he said in a loud, booming, rage-filled voice. It was here the American government, when they had joined the war, demanded the Russian government not bother the creature, seeing that it was simply a peaceful creature that wanted nothing more to be beast. Because as much as they wanted to use him in battle, he is essentially a living being. Russia, of course, did not listen and tried to capture him once again. Even after the war was over, they continued to hunt him down until 1954. or when a nuclear bomb test that's going on had irradiated Frankenstein. As he had adopted that name fully after seeing some media using that name for him. It killed the Russians chasing him down at that point. But irradiated him to the size of a giant monster. The following year, in 1955, he'd make landfall. It was quickly destroyed and blasted, but his brain was preserved, as well as a few parts of him which regenerated and stitched back together to restore him to his self, for maintaining his memories. He continued to walk and walk, saying, "Me want to go home. Me want to go home." Then, in 1962, in December, his dream came true as he stumbled upon the remains of Frankenstein's castle. Dr. Frankenstein. He made himself at home, working out his body, stitching himself back together, and even, somehow, getting cable television and adapting to the modern world, even seeing some of the movies made of his tale, which truly made him decide to keep Frankenstein as his true name. In 1970, he would come across a fortune teller who knew who he was, but wasn't scared, and merely told him his fortune of what he was to go through in the next 100 years. Telling him that in 2023, he would aid a boy in armor named Jacob. Why does he keep evading my stories? I know I keep saying there's a story here, a grander story, but I don't want him a part of it. But then again, maybe my employers do. But either way, after facing a great evil with the boy, the 16-year-old boy in armor, Frankenstein would continue to go across different worlds, even learning histories across the histories of the fall of Zeus, his fall to darkness. There's something hidden in very secret records in the hidden towers of Ninja High in 2068, where he'd even, from the shadows, witnessed the battle between Jake, the 15-year-old dragon ninja, and the now dark thunder god Zeus. And in 2070, he will find true happiness. Where on TV, he would see the attributes and work of a hero named Pizza Man, who we'd meet 2 years later. We jump to 2023 as we approach one of those prophecies' date, when Jacob appears in an armor he had built himself, having developed his own advanced tech with repulsors, some bullets, and some gun ammo built, as well as gun mechanisms built into the armor. A shiny blue and green color scheme. A glowing circular light from the chest, almost like the arc reactor of Iron Man. A helmet. It's well designed and rounded, perfectly fitting around his head. And a battle mask resembling that of a stone-cold robotic man. The mask opens, saying, "You're Frankenstein's monster?" Or Frankenstein? They respond, "Yes. Are you the boy named Jacob?" "Yes, I am. I learned the prophecy. Are you willing to help?" "Yes, we want to be good." And so, for now, our story ends as Frankenstein begins to craft a new destiny, even new clothes. Who's taking a tuxedo he'd been wearing, bulking himself up, tearing off its sleeves, letting his chest be shown through the torn elements of the shirt. Oh, his dress clothes were all torn from his musculature as he rose running into battle, ready for the next chapter. As he is then, and him and Jacob along the way would encounter other mythological creatures. They'd encounter a man named I'm mixing up names there. A man named Jack Crane, the great-great-grandson of Ichabod Crane, a man from Sleepy Hollow who had disappeared, supposedly killed by the entity known as the Headless Horseman. He revealed he was a member of the Order of Sleepy Hollow, a group founded to handle mythological and mystical elements, as he himself had been part of a long line of people to be given the great powers of the wolf, allowing him to become the Wolfman, which also granted him enhanced speed to a certain extent, although he believed that future generations, perhaps by the year 2072, would be able to fully tap into super speed while in their wolf form. But they were under the beast, in many ways the king of the demonic creatures, Dracula. But that is our next story. Oh, the twists! Oh, the mighty twist, the twist and the twists! Oh, are you ready for the final 2 chapters we have left? You will soon be witnessing my own story.